I worked the front desk at a hotel in Kyoto. An American woman marched up holding her phone like evidence in a murder trial. I checked our system. It's working fine. Are you connected? Yes, but it's not unlimited. I blinked. I'm sorry. Back home, I have unlimited data. This says I've used 500 megabytes already. When does it reset? I explained our Wi-Fi was actually unlimited, no data caps. The number she was seeing was just her phone tracking total usage. She squinted at me. But what if I run out? You can't run out. There's no limit. Then why is it counting? This went in circles for 5 minutes. She finally left, unconvinced, muttering about Japanese internet tricks. Her husband stopped by an hour later asking if we sold Wi-Fi refill cards. I told him no such thing existed. He said that's what I figured. Scam. Bartend in Prague. American couple sat down, ordered beers, immediately asked for the password. I gave it to them. The husband typed it in wrong 3 times, declared our Wi-Fi was broken. His wife tried, got it right on the first attempt. He said, "See? It's inconsistent." 10 minutes later, the wife gasped. "Honey, I'm at 70% battery already. We've only been here 20 minutes. I think their Wi-Fi drains phones faster." The husband nodded like this made perfect sense. European electricity is different. Probably affects the signal. He spent the next hour periodically checking their battery levels and sighing. Before leaving, the husband asked if we had American-compatible Wi-Fi. I said no. He left a 1-star review saying our foreign Wi-Fi was incompatible with US devices. I manage a cafe in Amsterdam. An American walked in, didn't order anything, sat down, and opened his laptop. After 10 minutes, he flagged me over. "Excuse me? Where's the router?" "The router?" "Yeah, I want to stand closer to it. My connection is slow." "How slow?" He gestured vaguely. "Just slow." "Where is it?" I pointed to the ceiling where the access point was. He stared up at it, disappointed. "Can you lower it?" I told him that wasn't possible. He asked if we had a ladder so he could get closer. I explained that wouldn't help. He disagreed, said he'd done it before at a Starbucks in Minnesota. I told him we didn't have ladders for customer use. He said, "Typical Europe." He left his laptop on the table, walked outside, came back in, announced he'd gotten full bars near the window. I explained that was his cellular signal, not our Wi-Fi. He said, "Same thing." It was not the same thing. I work at a Berlin train station information desk. An American sprinted up, phone in hand, frantic. "I need help. Emergency." "What happened?" "My data. It's gone." I asked what he meant. He showed me his phone. "See? No bars." He had full bars. I pointed this out. He said, "No, the other bars. The data ones. You're connected to the station Wi-Fi. That's not data." I tried to explain that Wi-Fi was data wireless internet. He cut me off. "Ma'am, I know the difference between data and Wi-Fi. I had unlimited data in the US. Now I'm in Germany, and it's gone. I need to buy German data," suggested he contact his provider. He said he already did. They wanted to charge him $12 per day. That's robbery. In America, data is free. I clarified that American data isn't free. He pays a monthly bill. He said that was different because it's unlimited. I asked if his plan included international roaming. He said yes, for $12 per day. I said that sounded reasonable. He disagreed. "That's $12 I wasn't paying before. It's a scam. Germany should honor American data plans." I explained that's not how international phone networks work. He said they do it with credit cards. Why not data? I suggested he use the free station Wi-Fi. He said Wi-Fi didn't count because it doesn't follow you. I explained he could use Wi-Fi at hotels, cafes, and restaurants throughout the city. He looked at me like I'd suggested he hunt for his own food. "So you're saying Germany just doesn't have data?" I told him Germany definitely had data, some of the fastest in Europe. He said, "Then why can't I access it?" He could, for $12 per day. He called it highway robbery and stormed off to find a phone store. He came back 30 minutes later, asking where to buy a German phone. I directed him to several electronics stores. He asked if they sold German iPhones. I said iPhones are the same everywhere. He said, then why doesn't mine work? I work at a guest house in Thailand. An American woman checked in, asked for the Wi-Fi password before even seeing her room. I gave it to her. She typed it in, waited, then frowned. It's not working. Are you connected? Yes, but nothing's loading. I asked what she was trying to load. My Instagram. Checked the network. Everything was fine. I asked her to try again. She huffed, opened Instagram, held up her phone. See? It's been 3 seconds and nothing. The app opened. Her feed loaded. She scrolled, stopped, pointed at a photo. This took forever. How long? Like 5 seconds. I explained that 5 seconds was normal, especially with high-resolution images. She said in America, everything loads instantly. I suggested that might be due to her home internet being particularly fast or less congested. She disagreed. No, American internet is just better. Thailand must have old technology. I informed her that Thailand actually has excellent internet infrastructure, particularly in cities. She said, then why is yours so slow? I explained our Wi-Fi was providing 50 megabits per second, which was quite fast. She said, that's it? In America, I get way more. How much? She couldn't say exactly, but definitely more. I offered to run a speed test. She declined, said she'd just deal with it for the week. Over the next few days, she complained constantly about the dial-up internet. I observed her streaming Netflix in HD with no buffering. I mentioned this seemed to contradict her complaints. She said, that's Netflix. It works everywhere. I'm talking about regular internet. On checkout day, she asked if we could refund part of her stay due to the substandard Wi-Fi. I declined. She left a review saying our internet was third-world quality and barely functional. Her review included a photo she'd uploaded to Instagram using rwi-fi.story3, the Roman router. Ryatai manage a small hotel in Rome. American family checked in parents. 2 teenagers. The father asked about the Wi-Fi before we'd finished the registration paperwork. I gave him the password. He typed it into his phone, his wife's phone, both kids' phones, all connected successfully. Then he asked, what about my laptop? Same password. And my tablet? Same password. And my smartwatch? Also the same password? Paused. All the same password? How do they not interfere with each other? I explained that's how Wi-Fi works. One network, multiple devices. He looked doubtful. That doesn't sound right. Back home, each device has its own connection. You mean separate data plans? No. Separate Wi-Fis. His wife corrected him. They had one home network. He said, yeah, but the router knows which device is which. I agreed that routers do identify individual devices. He said, so why don't you have separate passwords? I explained one password was simpler and more efficient. He said in America, security required unique passwords for each device. I'd never heard of this practice and suspected he was confusing concepts. His teenage son confirmed they used one password at home. The father, embarrassed, pivoted. Okay, but how many devices can connect at once? About 40. That's it? What if we have more? Your family has 5 devices, but other guests. What if everyone connects? I explained we had multiple access points throughout the hotel and sufficient bandwidth. He asked how we prevented guests from hogging all the Wi-Fi. I said we didn't, it wasn't necessary. He insisted there must be limits. I confirmed there were no limits. He said that's dangerous. Someone could download the entire internet. His wife, honey, you can't download the entire internet. Him, why not? It's all online. She gave up. The next morning, he complained that the Wi-Fi was slow. I checked no issues. I asked what he was doing. He'd connected all 5 devices and was simultaneously streaming different shows on each. I suggested this might strain the bandwidth. He said that's what unlimited meant. I clarified that unlimited referred to data caps, not connection speed. He said, so it is limited. I said no. but physics applies. He accused me of false advertising and said he'd report us to the European Internet authorities. I work at a cafe in Copenhagen. An American ordered coffee, asked for the password. I pointed to the chalkboard where it was written in large letters. He stared at it. That's it? Yes. The whole thing? Yes. He took a photo of it with his phone, sat down, typed it in. Nothing. He came back. It doesn't work. I walked over, looked at his phone. He'd typed it wrong, used an O instead of a 0. I corrected it. He tried again. Nothing. I looked again. He'd made it lowercase when it was uppercase. I corrected it. He said, "This is too complicated. It's 8 characters." Yeah, but there's numbers and letters. I confirmed that was typical for passwords. He said American Wi-Fi passwords were simpler, usually just the phone number. I said that seemed less secure. He said security wasn't the point, convenience was. I helped him type it correctly. He connected. 5 minutes later, he came back. I'm logged in, but nothing's loading. I checked. He was on airplane mode. I turned it off. Everything loaded. He said, "Why would it connect if I'm on airplane mode? That's confusing." I had no response. The next day, same guy, same cafe. He couldn't remember the password. I pointed to the chalkboard. Still there? He said, "You don't change it." I said no. He said that was a security risk, anyone could use it. I said that was the point. It was free Wi-Fi. He said in America, they changed passwords daily to keep things secure. I'd never heard of a cafe doing this. He suggested we implement a system where customers received unique passwords with each purchase. I explained that would create chaos. He insisted it was more professional. I declined to overhaul our system. He said Danish technology was behind the times and left. Without ordering anything, still connected to our Wi-Fi, I bartended in Dublin. An American asked for the password. I told him, Dublin 2023. He said, "That's it?" Yes. No other password. No, just that one. What about the security password? That's the only password. But how do you keep it secure if there's only one password? I explained that one password was standard for public Wi-Fi. He said that seemed risky. Asked what additional password he expected. He said, at American airports, there were 2 levels of passwords. One to connect, one to access the internet. I'd never encountered this and suspected he'd misunderstood a terms of service page. I helped him connect. He asked, "How do I activate it?" It's activated. But where do I enter my email? You don't. American Wi-Fi makes you enter your email. This is free, open Wi-Fi. Just connect and use it. He seemed uncomfortable with this. So anyone can use it? Yes. Even people who don't buy anything. Yes, that's socialism. I didn't engage with this assessment. He used the Wi-Fi for 2 hours without purchasing anything, thus proving his own point. Story 3, the Parisian password paradoxi. Work at a library in Paris. An American approached the help desk. I need the internet password. For which service? The computers or the Wi-Fi? Which one's free? Both. His eyes widened. Both? How's that possible? I explained the library provided free internet access to visitors. He said, "But you're in France. Doesn't the government charge for internet?" I said no. He said he'd read that European countries had internet taxes. I'd never heard of this. He insisted it was true. Something about the EU. I directed him to a computer. He sat down, stared at the screen, came back. It's in French. Yes, this is France. Can you change it to English? I showed him how to change the language settings. He said you should have it in English already. More people speak English. I noted that more people in France speak French. He said globally though. He sat back down. 2 minutes later, how do I access American websites? Just type in the address. I'm in France. Won't it block American sites? No, the internet is global, so I can access Facebook. Yes, and Google. Yes, and Netflix? Yes. though content may vary by region. He latched onto this. It is different. I explained regional licensing for streaming services, but emphasized that most websites were accessible worldwide. He seemed skeptical. I'll try, but I'm not optimistic. 10 minutes later, he came back. I got locked out of what? Everything. It says I'm in France.
Ow.
I walked over. Google had simply displayed Google France instead of google.com. Everything functioned identically. I demonstrated this. He said, but it looks different. I showed him how to switch to google.com if he preferred. He said, why don't you just have it set to America by default? I explained we were in France. He said, but America invented the internet. I did not continue this conversation. I work at a hostel in Stockholm. An American checked in, connected to the Wi-Fi, immediately complained. This is really slow. I ran a speed test in front of him. 100 megabits per second download. I showed him the results. This is quite fast. That can't be right. Why not? Because my phone says otherwise. He showed me his phone. Nothing indicated slow speeds. I asked what made him think it was slow. He said, I can feel it. I asked if pages were loading slowly. He said no, everything loaded fine, but it felt slow. I asked him to elaborate. He said in America, internet was instant. I said 100 megabits was very fast by any standard. He disagreed. American internet is faster. I asked what speeds he got at home. He didn't know, but it's definitely faster. Over the next hour, he periodically announced the Wi-Fi was lagging. I observed him streaming videos, browsing social media, downloading files, all without visible issues. I asked him to point out the lag. He said it's subtle. You probably can't tell because you're used to European internet. I am Swedish. I have used internet across Europe, Asia, and North America. I noted this. He said Americans were more sensitive to connection speeds due to having superior internet at home. I did not argue further. The next morning, he asked if we could upgrade the Wi-Fi. I asked what this meant. He suggested we get faster internet. I explained we had fiber optic service, among the fastest available. He said, maybe it's fast for Sweden, but compared to America. I pulled up international internet speed rankings. Sweden consistently ranked higher than the United States. I showed him. He studied the data, then said, these must be old statistics. They were from the current year. He said, well, my home internet is definitely faster. I asked what provider he used. Comcast. I showed him average Comcast speeds slower than our hostile Wi-Fi. He said the rankings must be measuring different things. I work at a Tokyo electronics store. An American came in, asked if we sold Wi-Fi extenders compatible with American devices. I asked what he meant. He said his phone wasn't getting good Wi-Fi at his hotel and assumed Japanese routers were incompatible with US technology. Explained that Wi-Fi was a universal standard devices, worked the same worldwide. He didn't believe me. Then why is my signal weak? I asked where his room was. 4th floor, far from the router. I explained this was a distance issue, not a compatibility issue. He insisted Japanese Wi-Fi was different. I asked how. He said it felt different and loaded things in a different order. I clarified that websites might look different due to regional versions, but the Wi-Fi itself functioned identically. He said, that's what I'm saying. It's different. I tried a different approach. Wi-Fi everywhere uses the same IEEE standards. Frequency bands, protocols, security, all standardized internationally. He listened politely, then said, okay, but do you have American-compatible extenders or not? I showed him several extenders. He asked which was designed for American phones. I said all of them worked with all phones. He picked one, read the box, put it back. This says, it's made in China. I need American technology. Explained that most electronics, including those sold in America, were manufactured in Asia. He said, yeah. But American companies design them differently. I showed him extenders from American brands Netgear, Linksys. He examined them, asked if they were the American versions or the Japanese versions. said there was only one version. He bought one. Came back the next day saying it didn't work. I asked what wasn't working. He said it made the internet Japanese. I had no idea what this meant. He showed me his phone connected to the extender, internet working perfectly, but Google was showing in Japanese. I showed him how to change his language settings. He said, that shouldn't be necessary. American devices should stay in English. I did not know how to respond. I run a bike rental shop in Amsterdam. An American couple wanted to rent bikes and use our tablet to plan their route. I handed them the tablet, already connected to Wi-Fi. The husband tapped it, frowned. What language is this? English, are you sure? It looks different. I looked at the screen. Google Maps, in English, everything clearly labeled. I confirmed it was English. He said British English or American English. Does it matter? Yes, I need American English. I explained that Google Maps functioned the same regardless. He disagreed. American English has different words. We might get lost. I pointed out that maps showed directions graphically, the language barely mattered. His wife agreed with me. He said we didn't understand because we weren't American. I let them plan their route. They debated for 15 minutes about whether the map was showing kilometers or miles. It was kilometers. The husband insisted we change it to miles. I showed him how to change the settings. He studied it, then asked, but will the roads still be the same? The roads. If I change it to miles, will the roads stay in the same place? I confirmed that changing units did not alter geography. He seemed doubtful. His wife said, honey, it's just the numbers that change. Said, you don't know that. European roads might be measured differently. They finally left, took the tablet with them with permission, came back 3 hours later, thrilled with their ride. The husband said, you know what? Your Wi-Fi actually works really well outside. Our Wi-Fi? Yeah, we had service the whole time. I explained they'd been using mobile data, not our Wi-Fi. He said no, definitely Wi-Fi. We didn't pay for data. His wife showed me her phone roaming charges. Multiple megabytes of data used. He stared at it in horror. How is that possible? We were connected to your Wi-Fi. I explained Wi-Fi has limited range. It doesn't follow you across the city. He said American Wi-Fi had much better range. He said no Wi-Fi had citywide range. He said, then what do people do? I explained they use mobile data or public Wi-Fi hotspots. He said, that's so inconvenient. Why doesn't Europe just Makufi that works everywhere?